Gary, how do we get more listeners to this show?
We beg them.
We need your help to grow this show. We have a genuine burning desire to share these bands and their music with the world. And to do that, it's going to take word of mouth. And you can help. Here's how to do that on Apple. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, review it. Give us 5 stars. Maybe write a review of the show. If you're on Spotify, you can comment. And if you comment, we will see those and we'll respond to your comments. We love that. Anywhere else, if you're on YouTube,
On YouTube, comment on
that's
YouTube.
the big one. We love it if you watch it on YouTube because then you get to see everything that's going on here.
Yeah.
And you also, obviously, that's like it, subscribe to it, and most importantly, everything I'm seeing based on YouTube's algorithms these days rewards it a video channel when people watch longer. It's more important even than subscribing and liking. That stuff really does help it perform better in the algorithms, which, these days you kind of have to do that if you're going to get any kind of traction. And we'd love some traction.
Yeah, and these bands that we're working with, they also would love some traction.
It's not about us. This whole show is about the bands.
Yeah, and they deserve it. They really do.
And we know there's a ton of choices out there, and we are so thankful you are still listening to this show with us begging and pleading for you to help us grow this thing. And so you are the real champion here. Gary, I think we should probably start the show now. What do you think?
Let's hit that show.
You've heard of.
Hello and welcome to Bands You've Never Heard of. I'm one of your hosts, JR.
And I'm the other one, Gary.
And we are here today to introduce you to yet another band that very few people have ever heard of, that I have been listening to pretty much nonstop for the past week or so. And I'm going to reveal that band to Gary here in a few minutes, and he's going to get to experience them for the first time ever. And we will talk about what we like, what we don't like, questions we might have, because then in the second half of this show, the band will join us on the show for an interview via Zoom. So it's a full show today, everybody.
Yeah, and that's the exciting part. Listening to us just blather on, that's okay. But listening to us really hit them with the hardcore questions. That's where it comes in.
Today's band, I found yet again a different way than I would normally find a band, and I'm hazy on all of the details. But somewhere in some article or video or something, I thought that I saw that there was a band out there called New Boy Band, which I thought was like a funny kind of ironic name, right? Like that's what I thought was happening here, but I must have misunderstood what I was reading. All right, I searched Spotify for New Boy Band, and this is what I got. All of these things, none of which are called New Boy Band. And so, Gary, I did see the names of all these bands that are here as a search result, and I picked one to go listen to and found this week's band. And I was trying to reveal it to you, but you figured it out already. It's that first one there, Boy Bandicoot.
Boy Bandicoot.
That is this week's band you've never heard of, Boy Bandicoot. And so that's all you know about him right now is that is the name. Do you have any I love the part where you tell me what you think they're going to sound like just simply based off of very little information.
Can I use the graphic too? Because
Yes.
there was a video game of something Bandicoot, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So so there that gives us, and I think that was late 80s, maybe early 90s. Yeah, you got the cassette tape, you got the stomp box, looks like a wah pedal, you got a woodside wagon. So
Yeah.
I'm going to say they're clocking in the late 80s, early 90s sound is what I'm going to give you. And I
Cool.
love the name, by the way. Love the name, Boy Bandicoot.
It's good, right?
Yeah,
It's
good
very
name.
unique. When you Google it, that's all you get is this. Uh,
Yeah.
so here's what I found so
If you put
far.
in boy band, you get Boy
Right.
Bandicoot,
Yes.
and that is, I mean, when we like we've explained before, when we first started this, that was one of the first things we did was we would kind of score the name as far as how does it come up when you Google it, and that is killer. If you put in boy band and it comes up Boy Bandicoot, it doesn't get much better than that.
I've got questions. One of the things I like about this band, and again, I'm going to play their music here soon. But one of the things I like about it is that I don't fully understand what's going on here.
But in the graphic or in the music?
So let me show you Boy Bandicoot's Instagram. I'm not going to play any of these. Half of them have the songs in them, so we're going to reveal the songs here in a minute. Based on this, how many people are in the band Boy Bandicoot?
Looks like one.
Every now and
Maybe
then you get
two.
pictures
One,
of
maybe
other
two.
people. Yeah, but for the most part, it's this one guy.
But it could be the kind of thing that we've run into before where it's one guy who fields a band whenever they go out and play,
Mhm.
but otherwise it's pretty much just him. And I have a feeling that's what this is.
So he's quite active here on Instagram, Facebook Reels, all that stuff. Lots of stuff out there. Similar stuff on YouTube. None of these are actual videos. They're all just lyric videos or just static image videos. But then his YouTube videos are pretty much the same stuff as I was just showing you on Instagram. So we're not going to bother trying to play it there. We're going to go back to Spotify, and I'm just gonna. I think we should probably get into it. I'm gonna play you a song, and
Playing a song.
let's just take a
Wow,
look at
I mean,
what
he's got some
Yeah,
solid listenership there.
88,000 plays on
Yeah.
his top song. We're not going to start with that one. We're going to end with that one. And so he's getting up there, right? I knew I had to reach out to this guy before he eclipsed
Yeah.
100,000 plays, which is our benchmark for the show. So he doesn't have a ton of songs, right? If I go to show all for his discography, these two songs released in 2025, three, four, five songs released in this year, one, two songs released last year, an EP in 23. So somewhere around 10 or 15 songs total.
That's
And
respectable.
yeah, no, he's definitely got some, he's putting some stuff out for sure. You ready, Gary? First song we're going to listen to is called Protagonist by Boy Bandicoot. right, that's Protagonist by Boy Bandicoot. Gary, I saw you bopping your head. You seemed like you were having fun. What'd you think?
That was amazing.
Amazing. Ooh, I like that.
Amazing. No, I'm almost speechless. No, the melodic capabilities are just over the top. Whenever you hear a song and you could start singing along,
Mm.
like halfway through, I started singing along third way through. It's like, and it wasn't a simple pop song. It was the chorus was fairly complex. Everything about it was fairly complex. But it was also, you could also, set your watch by it too. I loved it. I have no other, I mean, there's no other way to get around it. And his voice is perfect for what it is. That's a 10 out of 10 for me.
I'm I had a feeling. Uh, the more I listened to this, to Boy Bandicoot, the more I kept hearing your band, Modern Logic.
Mm,
Now,
yeah.
I haven't listened extensively to your band, Modern Logic, from years ago, right? But you've sent me the vinyl. I heard some of the songs, right? We've played some of the songs now that I've gone back and listened to the original versions of them. And there's a lot, to me, there's some similarities there. Now, it's been a while since I heard Modern Logic, so maybe I'm just imagining all of this, but do you feel like there are similarities in the overall sound, the vocals, the presentation, any of that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and that's probably subconsciously what I was hearing. But like I said, I was feeling that
Yeah.
late 80s, early 90s vibe from just the name and the way, the graphic and everything. And I couldn't have been more happy with what came out of my headphones just then. That was just amazing. It was so fun too. And
Yes, fun.
even though it's a very serious song, actually, and that's another Modern Logic thing, was to smuggle in the serious stuff over the light poppy
Yeah.
melody.
Boy Bandicoot's bio says this: indie alt rock from Cincinnati, Ohio. Boy Bandicoot comes out of the gate swinging with driven, tight guitars, melodic bass lines, punchy drums, and evolving synths, energetically and enthusiastically bringing something entirely new to the table while also carrying a familiar rock and roll flair.
Yeah, that's a great bio too.
It's nice and tight, and it says what it should say. I think it's great.
Kind of like the music.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Cool. Well, we should listen to another song.
I want more.
You
I
want more? We are going
want
to
more.
next dive into Siren by Boy Bandicoot.
Oh, cigarettes on the speaker saying, don't you want from me? Oh, terracotta, don't you wanna be surrounded by the green? Oh, summers at the sea. Oh, pirouette, you forget that you're longing for belonging. But you're living like a ghost in the evening. It's a careless chemical collision. A bit of panic and the come down. Send off the silence, pushing the headlights again. always drifting out of reach. Oh, prima donna, won't you keep serenading me under the moonlight, another late night. Send off the silence, pushing the headlights again. It can be so convincing till it's just right. It can be so convincing till it's just
All right, that's Siren by Boy Bandicoot. Gary, a little bit different stuff going on there, a little bit more synthy, a little bit more interesting, dynamic. Your
Right.
thoughts?
Yeah. The beat was definitely a little more syncopated and everything, but damn, the melody still, the melody was just perfect. I mean, I know he's got 88,000 on the top. I can't wait to hear this song because holy shit.
Yeah.
No, I mean, granted, this is my lane. This is not, you're not bringing me into a brand new genre of music, or one that, mixes and matches stuff or plays around with it at all. This is pretty much straight ahead. But I love it. It's, but I am really stoked to hear their top play because, and honestly, that one, I didn't like that one as much as the first one. But that's just because the first one was just so straight and blown, just like in your face. But this one, that you can't deny the melody, man. You cannot deny that melody, which is absolutely perfect. I would like to see them do that live.
I
though.
so want to see that. I wish there's no videos anywhere of this.
I know.
I cannot find it. I'm gonna ask him why the fuck not.
Because that's gonna be that song in particular would be a total bitch to try to do live in the type of shows that we do. And the type of shows that they do. If you were, a big headlining unit or whatever, and had all the technology and all that, that's one thing. But in the three bands in 3 hours kind of thing that we do, no, I mean, holy shit, there's just too much. There's too much at stake. So would they not do it, or do they do a completely different version live?
You're going to have the same question on this next song. And so before you even ask it, I want to point out a few things. So this last song we're going to play is his most played song with 88,000 plays. And as you can see on Spotify, it's actually two artists, Boy Bandicoot and some artist named Mooney. Mooney. And I don't know who Mooney is. If we go to Mooney's page, Mooney has a lot of plays. Not quite 1 million yet, but getting close.
That's probably why this one is the high.
You think it's the Mooney effect? Yeah,
the Mooney effect.
And well, I went over to YouTube and I found this little video. I thought this looks interesting. It's not the video for the song or anything, but it is Boy Bandicoot and Mooney and Trauma. This is their tour promotional video, and it's only 2.5 minutes, so we're gonna give that a little. We're going to check it out.
Sweet.
Man, I want to go on tour. I want to go on tour as Mooney and with some other great bands. But I can't even do that, man. Gosh dang it. I'm sick, man. I want to go on tour.
Babe, I think we need to talk.
What?
There's just been something on my mind recently that I just haven't found the right words for yet. But I think now is time.
Talk to me.
I think that we need to go on tour.
We literally don't know anyone. What bands would we go with?
What the f*** are we gonna do?
Tour. Tour sounds so great. Playing songs in front of people who are just excited about music, in sweaty rooms with amplifiers and drum kits and microphones and speakers. But it's so scary to think about starting touring by yourself. I wish I had some friends that were in a similar spot that would want to start touring with me. But just off the top of my head, I can't think of anybody. Oh well. Maybe someday.
All right, the rest is just tour dates and stuff for their tour, which was a couple years ago now, back in 23. So we've just met Boy Bandicoot and Mooney, who will both be performing on this next song we're going to play. We also happen to meet another band named Trauna.
Trauma.
Nope, Trauna.
It's Trauna?
T-R-A-U.
Oh, Trauna.
N-A. Yeah. And yes, I'm considering them for an update, an upcoming show. I haven't reached out to them yet, but spoiler alert, that could happen. Because they kind of rock too. All right. We've been putting this off long enough. This is Boy Bandicoot's. Oh, you have a question first?
One thing real quick, or a comment. Well, actually a question comment. Does Boy Bandicoot remind you of anyone that we've interviewed recently?
Gosh. Yes, two people. Two people combined into one could maybe be Boy Bandicoot. Corey from the Corey Hotline and Warren from Dead Billionaires.
You got it.
That's what you were thinking too? Nice. Yeah. All right. Boy Bandicoot and Mooney with their hit song, Dirty 20.
that waits for permission, buried underground.
Dirty 20 by Boy Bandicoot and Mooney. Gary, your thoughts?
That was art.
It's freaking amazing, right?
It's so cool. So cool. And the fun part was trying to pick out what was Mooney and what was Boy Bandicoot. And I think I did. Can't be for certain. But no, it was so fun. And once again, so deep. I mean, there's some nonsense in there, but there's also some really, really deep shit. So that is just some cool stuff, man.
Yeah. Well, we are down to the wire. We got about 5 minutes before Boy Bandicoot is scheduled to join us. I'm sure Gary needs some fresh air, and I got to pee. So we're going to end this first part of the show right there. And when we come back, we will be live with Boy Bandicoot.
Yeah, play him out with something.
Yeah, what do you want? You get to choose from the top 10, any song we haven't already listened to. I'll hit play and I'll go pee. That's too TMI, but I get it.
Let's go with Tunnel Vision.
Tunnel Vision by Boy Bandicoot.
Keep talking so fast and lonely, so the most
welcome Boy Bandicoot to Bands You've Never Heard Of. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you today, man?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. I'm stoked to be here.
Awesome.
I
So
want to start.
that's JR and I'm Gary
yes.
and your boy.
Great to meet y'all.
We need to first figure out who we're talking to. I mean, I see your name on the screen. I saw your name in the email, but you go by Boy Bandicoot. Is this real name a secret? Are we keeping it from the public, or no? You said no. So we get to call you Avery, or should we call you Boy, or what?
You can absolutely call me Avery. Yeah, I just needed, when I started releasing music, I had a bunch under my own name at one point, and I just never got excited about seeing my name on a album cover or anything. And I was like, I need to do something that actually sticks.
Wow. You know what never occurred to me to do in research for this show is go check and see if there's any music under Avery Benter. It just didn't even occur to me. If I were to do that, is there stuff would I find stuff?
Yeah, you would. There's some stuff on there that's worth listening to. There's just a lot that I was still figuring out what direction I was going in for sure.
How did you figure it out?
Figure out what direction to go in?
Yeah.
By not deciding. And just kind of being like, hey, why can't all of it
letting it happen?
Part of it. Yeah, exactly. Like the first back then also I wasn't really like trying to take it seriously. I play in another band called Coastal Club, and then I tour with an artist called Abby Holiday and Mooney. And so I was getting my music fix, but then I was coming home from all those things really, really inspired to want to write. And then I would write and release under my own name. And I was like, I don't feel like I'm putting anything behind this. It just feels like I'm like releasing it to not like just to exist and never be heard. And I'm not really
just to get it out.
Yeah. And so I was like, I came back from one tour and I was like, I had written a few things I was really excited about. And I was like, I think I want to do this for real for the first time. So started pushing Boy Bandicoot in like 2021 or two, something like that.
Yeah, the earliest stuff I could find shows you guys put out stuff in 23. Is that when you guys started?
Yeah, the EP came out. Yep.
So how'd you come up with it? Is it a reference to the video game from the late 80s? I think it's the late 80s, mid to late 80s.
Yeah. Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yep.
I could not remember what the first word with that.
Yeah, when I was trying to come up with a name, I had like a list of some that were, I don't know. As I always do, I put way more pressure on it than anyone would ever need to. Like some of my favorite bands ever are like The Strokes and Young the Giant. And I've never ever thought, what do those names mean? And so I was like, why am I putting so much thought into a name that has to mean something super deeply and has to, have this really deep and then I was like, what's something that I love? I grew up loving Crash Bandicoot. One of my cousins like passed it down to me and I was obsessed with it. So I was like, that's a good word. I don't hear it very often. Hopefully people can search it well. And then, well, we got to switch the first half. So we switched it to Boy.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm sure there would have been some copyright issues with the.
Yeah, we probably would have.
Yeah,
some Google search confusion for sure.
Oh, definitely. Well, that was one of the things that we noticed immediately was when we punch in Boy Bandicoot, it comes up. You're at the top of the page, which is that's stellar. When we first started this whole project, that's what we did, and we didn't even talk to folks. We kind of graded the acts as well. Okay, so they're not at the top of the list. Why could that be? Because the music is awesome. And we go through and, well, you can't find their name. And we also went through that with our band, and then went through a painful name change twice.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the very first things we did, and we still kind of do, is look at the name and go, hey, how is this workable in the life that we all have now, which is online, and man, that was perfect. It comes up, you're right at the top, and it's the only thing that comes up, isn't it? Like on YouTube and so forth. It just, so great name.
Thank you.
Absolutely great name.
So, in searching for you, I was looking. We're always looking for videos of the bands that we feature on this show, and there's plenty of video of you. And I have yet to find any significant footage of a full band playing a song. can you tell me more about the rest of the band? Like, how does this work? Are you Boy Bandicoot and you just have some other musicians you work with, or is there a cohesive band? And what's it like to play? I mean, there's like 12 questions I could ask, but I think you see where I'm going there.
Yeah.
What is the band Boy Bandicoot?
So it is a moniker. It's me essentially. Like I'm writing and producing everything, and then I've got a team of people like a mixing engineer and a mastering engineer. And the band has been fluid, just because like it's more so it's just a bunch of friends that I play music with and have in other projects over the years. And whenever they're available for a show, it just is whoever in my like three contacts for each instrument that I can get a hold of and are willing to put in the time to learn my obnoxious ADHD guitar parts and stuff. But yeah, it's like it's evolved through the years. But there's been a couple, I've done a couple tours with Mooney, that other artist, and for those it just made more sense to just play in each other's bands. So like his bass player and drummer learned my songs, and then I already knew all of his songs, so we just like switched the like the structure around a little bit. But yeah, so it's there's the blessing of that it is like modular and it can, like I can fill a space if I need to. But then there's the downside of like then the day to day and all the social media and stuff is just me. And if I'm not feeling it, doesn't matter. You got to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an obligation. I mean, it's a part of this if you
Such a
want
part
to
of it.
grow, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's like as much as I hate the just being on social media and stuff, like I have it to thank for a lot of people finding a lot of my music. So it's like, I'll take the good with the bad as long as I can, because I can't afford to be pumping out music every month to keep up with like algorithms, and I can't tour all year. So I'll take that if I can get it.
Yeah, and when you're on tour, you can't pump out, the algorithmic
Yeah, it's
stuff,
hard.
and so. But that leads us right into my question, which was, how the hell do you pull this shit off live? I mean, this is some complex stuff with lots of moving parts,
Mm.
and all based around. And you, when you see the video from the original stuff, I went goo goo over your melodies, but you have lots of parts, and they're not in the normal places either. Do y'all streamline it live, or do you try to make everything work like you've recorded it, or how
Before
does that?
you answer Gary's question, and I do want you to answer his question, I just want you to know what he knows about you, because that's what we've done for the last hour is me introducing Gary to Boy Bandicoot. He has heard 3.5 songs, Protagonist, Siren, Dirty 20, and then we let Tunnel Vision play while we were going to smoke cigarettes. So that's what he knows about your sound at this point.
Cool. I feel like that's a good representation.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
I handpicked those for him.
Heck yeah.
He's pretty good at that.
So you want to know, how do I pull it off live? Having really, really excellent musicians helps a lot. Like being surrounded by people that are so good and better than me that I can take things to them. That is the part of having interchangeable guitarists. Is like I've had times where we'll get together a few days before rehearsal, just the two of us, and hash things out. Because sometimes, I mean, I know that I write parts that aren't. I feel like I learned guitar wrong in that. I mean, I know I learned guitar wrong. I'm not very like theory minded. I wasn't very blues oriented, and I feel like a lot of guitarists you meet out playing music, they just know exactly what they're doing. They're, especially like in Nashville. I lived in Nashville for a little bit. Like guitarists are very fundamental in a good way. Like
They're in a box.
yeah, but like because they know the box, then they know how to play outside of that box. Whereas I've just always played outside of that box because I never knew there was a box.
Right.
So
Yeah. No, I don't see that as a negative at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoy it. It's just when then having to pass it off to another musician who does have the foundation of the box, then it's a little bit more like, okay, we're gonna push through this together. And there's like, for the most part, we've tried to just one for one as much as we can live, like do as much as we can the way it is in the recording. Do use a little bit of tracks for like the synth stuff because I don't have a synth player at this point as much as I would love that.
So
But
you do use tracks.
yeah, just like
Okay.
a little left and right thing. So like it's I'll put like synths and then like some there's like in Siren in the second verse, there's like a vocal throw thing that like I say the word nauseate and it kind of like reverse echoes into it.
Mhm.
And so for moments like that, I'll use tracks, but trying to find a way to do less of that because it's more fun to not do tracks.
Yeah, I mean that's because that's always the thing when everything is built in the studio and then you have to take it live and it's like, do you take a whole fucking orchestra with you, or or I mean, how can you redo that, redo whatever you've done. We had to add another guitar player just
Mhm.
to attempt to come up with all the different parts that I did on the last record. And so that's a thing. I mean, I remember the police were like, well, we can't play it the right way live, so we're just going to completely change the whole song. So that, I
Which
mean,
can be cool for a live experience too. If you
yeah,
see an artist that you're hearing a version that you're not going to hear on a record.
Anywhere else, yeah.
Yeah, which sometimes could be curated and sometimes could be like, well, I can't do it that way. So like, it's just a result of the situation, I guess.
yeah. But the stuff that you have going on in there, I'm like going, holy crap, how do they do that? How do they pull this off live? This is just amazing
Oh,
stuff.
there's one
Um,
video I know on YouTube. I think it's just called Boy Bandicoot at Motor Pub. That I found that today because somebody asked me for video to promote a show coming up, and I was like, I have no idea. Need to pay somebody to do that, but
But it's not like it's on your channel or anything, right?
no,
Like
no,
somebody else just filmed it with their phone, probably.
yep.
and it's what Boy Bandicoot at what at Motor
Motor Pub, MOTR.
Pub. All right, yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sure enough, there it is. And that's just from like a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Similar question. What about recording? Is it all you, or do you bring in these musicians for recording?
I usually bring in a drummer. I'll program drums and convince myself that I'm not attached to them so that when I give them to a drummer, then they'll be just like take it and make it whatever you want. But usually by that point, everything's produced and there's bass lines and there's guitar parts. And so we get into the studio. I'm like, yeah, just do whatever feels right. And then after the first take, I'm like, but also, can you do this very specific fill? Like I'll have like a note. And luckily, both of the drummers that have worked with me are like two of my best friends. So it's like we can work it out together. But that yeah. So for the most part, mostly out of just practicality for it's a self-funded project, so I can't always afford to go into the studio and pay a producer and pay an engineer and have a band. So it kind of started from I really loved producing. I didn't realize that's what I was doing. I was just like recording in GarageBand for so many years, and then one of my good friends that has mixed all of my music, he was a producer and now he's a mixing engineer, mostly full time. And so I would just like watch him do his work and ask questions, and picked up enough along the way to like start DIYing it. And he co-produced the first EP, so Did I Fall Apart, and he's currently mixing my debut album, which is exciting.
Ooh.
But yeah, so for the most part, it is in house as much as it can be. I don't trust myself to mix at all, so that always goes to somebody else.
Oh, never mix your own thing.
No,
I mean,
I'll be in limbo.
we haven't done that since the 80s. So
That was probably much harder too.
when you had to, well, you had to mix yourself because there were only so many hands
Sure.
available, and you had to have literally every hand on desk. I mean, it was generally 4 to 6 people.
That's crazy.
That are sitting there following the thing and literally moving the faders by hand. And
So of all the
that was
songs
awesome.
of all the songs you have out now, all of them feature real drums as opposed to programmed drums. Is that true, or?
Oblivious is drum machine, and Torn Apart is programmed, and I think that's it. I think the rest are all real.
That jives with my listening experience. You've been on the in the background at work for me for about a week now,
Oh,
like all day. I just let it play all your songs and then repeat. And
gotta get some more songs out for you then.
well, I am excited to hear there's a new album coming. And I typically tune out when a band has programmed drums. You know, they can be kind of lifeless, and I never get that feeling. Although occasionally I'm like, maybe. And I couldn't even tell you which songs that is on because it's just kind of playing in the background. So I'm happy to hear that you've got acoustic drums happening
Oh yeah.
in these songs because I think that adds a realism to these songs with so much synth stuff. And I'm not typically into synth stuff, but
Mm.
yours is not typical synth stuff either.
Mm.
Yeah, your music has only grown in my appreciation of it every time it repeats on my work computer.
Oh, I really appreciate that.
When I was playing your songs for Gary, I threw up the lyrics of the songs as they appear on Spotify, and I think that's when I realized that you go deep, man.
Yeah.
Like there's some really, really good songwriting in there, just lyrically speaking.
Mm.
And I wonder if you could talk a little bit about your writing process. Like, how do you come up with the lyrics for the song?
Mm. Very different from song to song. Um, I always talk to any of my musician friends that can sit down and write a song and they're like, this song is going to be about this. And then they get to the finished product and they're like, yeah, that song's about that. I am so incapable of doing that because I'm so self-critical. So anytime I sit down to write a song that's like actually about a very specific thing or an experience or something, I just think it's so cheesy the way that I write it. So I'm like, I'll just kind of I'll get the song to a production level that I feel excited about it, and then I'll just bounce it down and go for a drive, and I'll just repeat it over and over and over again. And I've got like a voice memo going on my phone, so anything that like if a melody comes to me, I'll just start kind of singing nonsense over it. But sometimes it almost every song has sort of unintentionally, subliminally, probably intentionally found a way to mean something really deeply to me. Like I'll have like a general idea of what I'm writing about, but I'm really writing about like these six things, and by the time it's finished, I might still not really understand what I'm trying to say, and then like 3 months later, I'll look back at it and be like, oh, I absolutely can find meaning in that. So at first, it was something I was really critical of with myself because I just liked wordplay, and I like the idea that you can talk very seriously about things, but also try to be kind of sarcastic about a lot of it too. Um, like I don't know. I just anytime I take myself too seriously, that's just not the persona that I want. Like I write emotional songs lyrically, but like that's not who I am as a person. Is like I want you to brood at my shows, and I want
Right.
you to.
Well,
No,
you
you
put them on these lilting melodies, which is just absolute wonderful. I mean, it's just your melodies. Once again, I'm gonna hit this on a every time I get in the mic because your melodies are just they're just butter. I mean, the whole thing. You know how it is. You hear a song. You hear first time you hear a song, and I know a lot of people don't do this, but I start looking for the hook. It's like I want to sing along. I want to sing along. And so many songs you can't do that until the second, third, or fourth listen. But with yours, I get maybe a third to a half through the song, and I'm singing, and I can almost anticipate what you're going to sing next. And so, but under that, you are smuggling in some really deep and heavy stuff, which is super cool.
Mm,
Um, and we're not here just to butter you. We have no reason to butter you up, but I
love
I
it.
just I just kind of tell it. I kind of tell it like it is, and for me, I don't represent anybody but myself. But when I hear something like that, I want you to know what you know, because a lot of times you don't know exactly what your end product is doing. You know
Yeah,
what
and
it,
how it's being communicated, like how people are actually receiving it.
yeah.
It's tough. Yeah, I and it's hard sometimes when people like I there is a ton of meaning in my songs. Like I don't want to shortchange it and say that they're not about anything, but there's some artists you can listen to top to bottom and be like, oh, I now know the story of like this thing that they experienced. And for me, it just feels like we'll take this line by line, see where it goes. And usually it does end up getting a lot deeper than I meant for it to originally to do because it's like you're in that headspace. And so, yeah, it's interesting because I don't know, it is in a package that you might not be expecting it. But I know a lot of people that listen to music for the music and not the lyrics. And I'm like, well, if you ever decide to pay a little bit more attention, hopefully there's something more to chew on and hopefully it starts a conversation. Because I've been on a podcast before where they asked like specifically what a song was about. And I just froze because I was like, I don't know. Like I can ramble about it, but if you want to know what, we can go section by section, but otherwise this is going to be a while.
Yeah.
Uh, do you think the state of the U.S. right now and where things are at was with the divide with all of that stuff? Is that informing some of your writing?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
especially stuff that has not released yet. There's a couple songs that I've just finished in the last couple weeks that probably more so than
Mm.
I mean, definitely, I mean, medic and listening and there's definitely semblance of that in a lot of it because it is just like especially writing a lot of that stuff in 2021 and 2022 there was it was like everybody's differences were being amplified louder than they ever had before. And so I was hearing that I had all these differences with people that I had loved my whole life and had loved me their whole lives. And instead, it was like we were finding ourselves on opposite sides of a line with no way to reach each other or understand. And so, I mean, that's a lot of what Medic's about is like, there's just so much like we could we could try to get on the same page, but you would rather see me like get crushed by this than maybe have a conversation about something.
Yeah.
And I honestly think it's time to try to write a protest song again. It's been too long since those have been popular, but Idols has had the like monopoly on that for too many years at this point.
Boy, do we have a band for you.
Who's
They're
that?
called the Dead. They're called the Dead Billionaires out of Richmond,
Oh, that sounds
and
like
they are check it out. How many? There's a few episodes back, but that's their entire thing
Cool.
is protest songs.
Yeah,
They're
there's nothing shrouded about their message at
Or the
all.
name.
not whatsoever. Yeah,
No.
and there's no hyperbole or anything going on
Yeah.
there. It's just in your face. Um, and I think you would, and you remind me somewhat of Warren, who's the lead singer of that band.
Oh, cool.
But I think you would really enjoy them.
I'll have to check them out.
I find myself now that I've been just piping your music into my brain every day, just out of the blue, I'll be driving or going working out, and I'll just go Don Quixote, Wile Coyote, like that line. Is so good.
It's my
but
favorite line.
The
We
two
knew we had something when we did that.
the two lines that follow that are so deep. Like that seems so just animated and fun, right? Simulated life, peace of mind, embracing delusion, roll a dirty 20. I mean, that I'm like, oh, I know so many people that are doing that right now. And it's very frustrating. And yeah, that's where I was picking up on some of the maybe commentary on things now.
Stuff.
Yeah. The best part about that line is that it's such a high chorus, like the vocally, it's so high. So many takes was Seth and I both trying to sing Don Quixote and only getting donkey out. And then so there's a moment right before, I think it's right before the first chorus where you can hear Seth in the middle. We just like put a missed take in it where he just says donkey, but his voice like screeches out at the end of it. We had to leave a little Easter egg in there, but yeah, that was such a fun song to write. And also, yeah, like it was, we came in with just like, we knew we wanted to write a song together because we had a tour coming up together. And I had been I live in Cincinnati. They live in Nashville, which is where I am now. But I was on the drive down, and that's usually where all of my, if I'm coming down here to write, it's like I'm just turn off the podcast and just like try to think of what we could work on, what's some ideas that could get our, energy going. And I had just listened to a D&D podcast because that's something that I do. And I was just thinking about the words dirty 20, which is like when you roll a like something lower than a 20. 20 is like critical success. Like if you roll a 20, whatever you were trying to do, you succeed in it. But if you roll something lower, like if you rolled like a 16 and maybe that wasn't high enough, but you had like a stat that equaled 4, that's a dirty 20. So it's almost like the embracing luck and accident and like a lot of just, yeah, it feels like people throwing caution to the wind maybe, and just like maybe not making decisions in the best ways.
I had no idea what roll a dirty 20 was a reference to. I'm not.
I did, and it was totally wrong.
I was definitely picturing like a drug reference of some kind.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely the thing, was you roll a dirty 20 and
way nerdier than that.
Yeah.
So I cannot pretend to be into Dungeons and Dragons at this point. Now that I've
Oh, that's okay. I've never been invited to a game, which is maybe the ultimate form of nerddom, where you're not even cool enough to get invited to a D&D game.
Oh wow! Ouch.
Yeah, but
Ouch,
for
that
every
hurts.
show,
so all let's put a plea out there to all of our listeners who play D&D, whether you're in the Cincinnati region or not. Please invite Avery to your game, because I've never played.
You've mentioned Nashville and Cincinnati. I've been to Nashville for like a week, so I have some semblance of what the music scene is like there, the Music City. And the very first episode of this show, we interviewed a band from Cincinnati, so I have a ever so slight understanding of the musical scene in Cincinnati. I'd love to hear your perspective on what is the live music scene like in Cincy.
Oh yeah, I love the Cincinnati music scene. I love Cincinnati. That's just that is my first and foremost personality trait, is that I love my city, and it's because it kind of feels like a mishmash of a lot of my favorite parts of other cities. Like there's a part of town that kind of reminds me of San Francisco. There's a part of town that kind of reminds me of Chicago. But then it's so small. Like it's relatively, like, compared to those cities, it's tiny. So the music scene is, at times it feels very tight knit, and you think that you know every band, and then I find out there's this pocket of bands that always play shows together, and I've never even listened to them, and then it just like opens me up to a brand new world of like, I didn't even know this was happening here. How did I not know? And so I like, especially after the pandemic, like pre-pandemic, I was playing a lot of shows with Coastal Club. We were doing a lot of stuff at a few venues like Motor, and there's a venue called like Woodward Theater, and just like playing out all the time. So I felt very much a part of the music culture, and I felt like I was really connected to everyone. And then the pandemic happened, and in 2022, I moved to Nashville and was there for about a year and a half, and then moved back. And right before I moved back, there was a festival there that was thrown by a local radio station called Inhaler Radio, and they rule. But they had put a festival together, and it was just some bands that I knew from pre-pandemic, and then some I'd never listened to or never heard of, and was just so blown away by everything. Like I was just like, it just was restoring my hope, because I had moved to Nashville not really to like, a lot of people move to Nashville with really high expectations of like what it means to live in Music City, or what they're looking for. They're looking to like blow up or get a record deal or whatever, work with a bunch of producers. And I didn't really have any of those goals. I was playing with a couple artists that live here, but I was just like, I've lived in the greater Cincinnati area for most of my life. I lived in Indiana growing up, but was like, if we don't move now somewhere, we're going to find ourselves like settling down, and not in a bad way, just like it would probably help if we just like moved and tried something. And so we moved to Nashville and had excellent community. Like the people there and the artists that are making it work are freaking awesome. The city exhausted me. And there's a lot of businesses that I love, but just like the sitting in a coffee shop and hearing everything that everybody's working on when I'm just doing my day job and feeling guilty that I'm not actively doing something music related. And it was hard for me. I felt the imposter syndrome very much. And I thought I thought it made sense to be in Nashville if I wanted to do music as a career. And then I went back to Cincy to visit when that festival was happening and was just like, you can do this anywhere. You can do this. I mean, I'm sure, honestly, like Cincinnati also is more centralized to some of the cities that I would love to tour to more often, like Chicago. And like I can get to the north a lot more easily than if I'm living in Nashville. And I don't really, yeah, I just I didn't think about it logistically until I got back and was just like, okay, I love it here. I have my friends in Nashville that I can go and see. Don't need to live there. But yeah, since it's a sleeping giant, it's a underdog city in all the best ways. And definitely I'm always rooting for the creatives there. Not even just music. Like we've got some friends that are like they have a studio called Oku Studios that they just want to support artists, whatever that means, throwing galleries and hosting events. Just ultimately trying desperately to like show each other what everyone's doing. Like, hey, if you didn't know, like there's muralists over here doing this, and there's artists over here doing this, and there's tradespeople doing this, and you can all collaborate or just even just be aware of each other's existence. So when somebody asks, you know exactly who you're going to reach out to. And I don't know, makes it a little bit more personal, hopefully, to build that community. But so you mentioned Cincinnati, and now I won't shut up.
that you clearly do love it. The band we interviewed from Cincinnati was called Room for Zero. Are you familiar with those guys at all?
I've heard the name. I don't think we've met before though.
No. Highly recommend. They're the first band we featured on this show, and they brought it. They set the bar pretty high for what a band should do when they show up on this program. Nice. They showed up in like a panel. Each one had mics and headphones, and like,
give me a link to it.
I might have. I think I did because yeah. So they were fantastic. So yeah, you're in good company, and they had a lot of the same things to say about the music scene in Cincinnati. They seem to love it as well. So
yeah, and that's not to talk negatively about Nashville. Nashville has incredible people. It's just different.
Yeah, I mean, and also your genre of music is not Nashville.
It
is on the underground, like the underground beyond the underground. And everything, but it's like I could see you doing a bit there, but not in a record company kind of way, because
and I wouldn't be my goal. I think like most of Nashville, like the Nashville that most people think of can feel very maybe corporatized. That's not the right word. I don't want to but there's a lot of incredible people that are doing that work. So the thing that I fell into in Nashville, which I'm very grateful for, is there is a very tight knit and supportive indie community. Like lots of independent artists that are working at a coffee shop by day and then playing shows as often as they can, going on tour and writing together. And that's why I love coming back here, is because it's like, you'll go into a coffee shop and see somebody that you saw on a show like 3 months ago and they were incredible. And you're sitting there like, you shouldn't have to do this. Like, you are so good and no one knows yet. And so it's really cool to see that. But it does feel very separate from, they're all mostly like located around or just outside of like East Nashville, which is kind of in the last, I guess, 5 or so years kind of popped up into like Transplant City, which is weird because a lot of the locals don't like you, but it's really cool to meet artists that they moved in from New Jersey, and then this artist moved up from Texas, and you're just seeing it's just so many different perspectives and songwriting styles and stuff. It's really inspiring.
The best music we got to experience in our short time in Nashville was just a block or two off of Broadway. There's some like alleyway street where all of the bars and stuff it's a point that you're not going to find the same shit here that you did on Broadway, right? We're not just going to do Garth Brooks covers. It's going to be way more original and different than that. And that was the 2 or 3 different bars we went into. not the Nashville sound at all,
Yeah.
and they were amazing.
Yeah. It just shows me that like you can do it anywhere because you're gonna have like obviously people will move here because it's like it makes a lot more sense. There's so much industry um infrastructure that's already here because this is where it famously has happened for so long. But as trying to make it as an indie artist, it made just as much sense to be in Cincinnati as it would have made to be in Nashville or Chicago, for me at least. Like that's
Yeah,
that's
because
not true for everybody, but
that's moved. It's moved. That whole thing has moved around the country. From Boston to Athens to Seattle, and of course,
mhm,
there's always L.A. and New York and
yeah,
Austin, and but more and more, and we've talked to a lot of bands out of L.A. because there's that's such a high density there. But our favorite bands have been in maybe not little podunk towns, but definitely smaller cities or around the globe,
yeah,
and you can do it anywhere, you know
definitely.
especially at the bands you've never heard of level. So
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Which is
So,
maybe not ideal, but hey, we're getting there.
your song "Dirty 20," you collaborated with your friend Mooney, right?
Yes.
And would you say that's a big reason why it has double triple the plays of any of your other songs? And are you planning to collaborate more and double bill like that with songs? Is that part of the plan for the new EP or the new full, whatever the new album is going to be?
The collaboration with Mooney just kind of came up because, like I said, we just been playing music together for a long time, and we're going on a tour together, like that. The last run we did last year, or this year, and it was. I don't think either of us expected it to do what it is doing. Mooney is obviously has a much bigger following as of right now.
Yeah,
Um,
he's almost at 1 million plays on a couple of his songs.
yeah, and
Yeah.
he deserves it. He's so good, and one of the most creative and inspiring people I've ever met. But uh, I wasn't necessarily like I don't think I'm trying necessarily to chase virality through collaboration or anything. I just I like making music with my friends, especially. I get really I've for the longest time wrote by myself and was really nervous to get into a room with other creatives because I was just like I know how I will set out to write a song and I don't know how that's going to work with somebody else and I've just never tried it. And writing that song top to bottom with him was just like so easy. Like he had some plans in the morning and I was writing the riff and sending him voice memos like, what does this sound like a good starting point? It's like a little bit heavier than I was expecting us to go with this, but and then he was like, I love it. And then he sat down at the drums and we were like playing it together. And then he played it in whatever the meter is. Originally I had written the riff in like 4/4. And then he came in and he's like, what if we added like 3 here and then went back to 4 here? And I was like, that's way cooler. That's going to take me a lot longer to figure out.
Yeah.
And then we performed it at that on that tour and like writing it and not thinking, oh, in 2 weeks you have to play this every day.
live.
So you better figure out how to play it and sing it because otherwise you're going to be in for it. And the verses are super easy. They're just like chord changes, but the choruses is like, why did you do this to yourself, dude? But it went well. For the most part, I think we nailed it. So that helped. But yeah. Oh, but collaboration. Trying to think if there's any collabs on the record itself. I don't think so. But yesterday, I wrote a new song with my friend Abby Holiday. So there will be more collabs in the future, but not yet.
So what's the plan for getting the new album out, marketing it? Are you going to support it with like videos or just the social stuff, or like what's the plan? Because I think the seeds are planted for new music to hit pretty hard. So
No,
what do you
and
think?
are you going to do physical
I
media
really
or
want to do
just
physical media. I would love. I definitely want to do CDs because I just it like going back to the modern era. It feels like we are collapsing back towards needing physical media and just no like everyone's recognizing like it streaming ain't it. Like whether or not it's inevitable the streaming will always be there, but like Spotify reigning supreme above everybody else, it's just like a bummer of a day and age to be a musician. But I would love to get CDs because it's also just fun to have something to give to people that just discovered you at a show that isn't a t-shirt. Because maybe they don't know if they want to represent you yet. They haven't figured out if they like your music that much.
Right.
But having that, I would love to figure out a way to get vinyl. That's all in the depends on the finances because it is a very DIY project. But the record is all but one song is mixed and half of it is mastered. And then I think I have like one more single before I release it as a record. Protagonist, Hinges, Siren, and Delirious will be on the record.
Okay.
And then there will be 8 more songs, something like that. So yeah, I'm hoping early next year. The album is called Mulligan, so it's just the whole theme is just bastardizing golf. And I don't know anything about golf, but
You use the word mulligan in one of the other songs.
In Protagonist,
in Protagonist, yeah, and it's a repeated theme for that record.
Got it.
And yeah, so like I took some pictures with a friend of mine, and I like on stage recently we've been wearing some of the stuff I wore for the pictures, but it's like a bunch of old golf shirts that are ripped up and have like cigarette burns in them and stuff,
like the John Daly's of the world.
Yeah. And so I'm really excited. It's been like my original plan was release it this summer, and then just like I would finish a song that was like it originally was going to be an EP, and then I just kept like finishing songs that I was like, that would go really well on that record. And so it just keeps getting pushed off and getting pushed off. And then touring with other artists, it was like, when can I be home long enough to like promote this like really well? So it has been not on the back burner, like the foot's been on the gas the whole time, but definitely trying to be like, okay, let's not rush this. Let's like make sure it's exactly what we want it to be, and then push it as hard as we can when it's done. So we're closer than ever, which is really exciting. And the reason that one of the last song that's being mixed is still not mixed is because a friend of mine laid down some strings for it, and it's like the last song on the record, and it like an extended outro, and he played violin and viola on it. I'm so excited. It's so cool.
I love strings.
Me too. It just changes the game.
Speaking of your constant touring, any plans coming east? Into Virginia.
Maybe Charlottesville. I don't know.
Maybe Charlottesville.
I've been to Charlottesville a couple times with other artists. I would love to come there as Boy Bandicoot. A friend of mine reached out this week and said, "What would you think of like a little 5-show tour in the summer next year?" But we haven't talked about location yet. So if there's demand, I can always recommend it.
Well, hopefully there will be.
Yeah. There was a venue, what is it called?
The Southern?
It was like down this like brick road alleyway.
Yeah.
The Southern.
Yeah, that's a cool spot.
Yeah, that's a great little venue.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys would kill in that place. It's basically it's underground, you're the ceiling is, 6 inches from your head when you're on the stage. But it's such a tight little room. It's great.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's a good sound, and people really love it there.
So we really are coming to the end of this. I want to let you know what we are intending with this, right? Like the whole point of this show is to find bands like yourself who don't have, name recognition across the country yet, and elevate them in any way we can. And we feature bands people have never heard of. We are also a podcast nobody's ever heard of. We haven't hit it big as a podcast yet, so we don't exactly have a ton of listenership. Part of what will help that, and not just help us and gaining more listeners, but help all of the bands we have been featuring, is if each band shares the fact that this podcast exists and that their fans can find out more about them, with hopefully a compelling interview, which I think this certainly lives up to that. If you share that out with your fans, they will hear this show. Then they might find Room for Zero or the Anti-Groupies or Geese or any of the other
Dead
bands.
Billionaires.
Yeah. The Corey Hotline. There's tons of bands that people still have yet to hear about because they haven't found our show. So you helping us helps you and helps all the other bands. And so it looks like you're willing to be a part of that.
Definitely, yeah. I appreciate y'all
Yes.
reaching out.
Our motto is a rising tide floats all boats.
What about a rising toad? I want to hear about
A
that.
rising toad floats all bots. It was easy for you to say. Oh no,
I'm gonna get that tattooed, I think.
There you go.
A rising toad.
Avery, Boy Bandicoot, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to be with us on this show. I can't tell you how much we appreciate it.
Of course, it was an honor. Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, thank you, and good luck with the new release. And I hope you can get it out on vinyl. It's a pain in the arse, but it's worth it.
Is there going to be a boybandicoot.com at any point?
I was working on that today because it's probably overdue at this point.
Well, if that exists by the time this episode drops, there will be a link to that in the show notes for sure. I'm looking forward to the new stuff that I have yet to hear because your stuff is moving me in all the right ways. So
appreciate it. Thank you all.
Keep up those great melodies, man. Really appreciate your music.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much.
All right.
So good.
Another wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh God, I love this stuff, man. Absolutely 100% love this stuff.
I kept hearing Modern Logic when I kept hearing a bunch of these songs, and I hope you. This is something I meant to ask you on the air. Actually, maybe we're still recording. Maybe I'll stick this in somewhere. Have you made it a point of listening to any of the bands we've featured on this show, just like as part of your music listening and enjoyment recreationally? And if so, which bands?
Yeah, a little bit. Of course, Dead Billionaires, and the anti-groupies, and I've run across what was the band? Dang it, the band with really cool videos, and they were kind of acoustic-y, but
Bad Mother Nature.
Bad Mother Nature, yes. Yeah, those three stick
Really?
out.
That was a tough sell for me to get you to like those guys.
Well, that
Bad
one
Mother
song,
Nature.
man, that one song, it was killer.
All right, let's wrap this thing up, Gary.
This episode of Bands You Never Heard Of is a production of Ranch Hand Records. That's ranchhandrecords.com.
Bino, or Bands You've Never Heard Of, is hosted by Gary Hawthorne and J.R. Stoffel.
It is written by JR and reacted to in real time by me.
You got to hear a bunch of songs by Boy Bandicoot, and in case you're wondering, we asked them, and Avery gave us permission to play those songs on this show.
And we will have that in writing. You can't check them out at boybandicoot.com yet, but hopefully in the near future, try them out at boybandicoot.com.
Yeah, if that
This
website
will be
exists,
in the show notes if it happens by the time we get this out.
Exactly. All of Boy Bandicoot's songs will also be added to the official Bands You've Never Heard Of complete playlist on Spotify. Every song from every band we have ever featured on this show is there. And when I'm not jamming to whatever band we're featuring this week, that's probably what I'm listening to, is that playlist. Hit shuffle and enjoy.
If you're not seeing us, if you're just listening to us, get the entire big picture on youtube.com/@BYNHOPOD.
We would love to interact with you, our listeners, and we can do that in several different ways, but the easiest might just be email, bynhopod@gmail.com, BYNHOPOD@gmail.com. If you got thoughts, if you got a band you think we should feature, anything like that, drop us a line.
Or you can check out the videos, you can check out the audio, you can actually contact us, but most importantly, you can buy merch.
Bynho merch.
Bynho merch at bynhopod.com. That's BYNHOPOD.com. melodies.com.
This was a
We'll
really
see how-
fun show, Gary.
Yeah, man. I love it.
Thank you. If you're still listening at this point,
Oh, you know they are.
then there will be some sort of treat for you at the end. There'll be a little Easter egg.
Ooh,
At the end.
I love those treats.
Yeah, and I already know what it's going to be. So I can't. I'm looking forward to the edit on this one.
Excellent. See y'all next time.
Peace out, everybody.
I, for one, am sick of all the rain. Since I've been gone, it spits upon my grave. And out of me a tree grows high to flip the bird to the clouds in the sky. 'Cause I, for one, am sick of all the rain. I lay my head in the dirt, but that dirt's been turned to mud. I hear the thunder roll, and I just beg to feel the sun. I, for one, am sick of all the rain. My wet clothes drive me halfway past insane. I caught a cold and a nasty cough. The earth winds are starting to piss me off. I, for one, am sick of all the rain. Lying underground, you wouldn't think I'd mind at all.